What you're looking at right now is impossible. According to the United States government, Jeffrey Epstein died in a Manhattan jail cell on August 10, 2019. But the video on your screen captured by a drone flying over Little St. James is dated August 31, 2019, 3 weeks after his death. Look at the man in the passenger seat. Look at the thick, shock white hair, swept back. Look at the profile. Look at the slump of the shoulders. He's sitting comfortably, touring his island, watching workers maintain his property. This isn't a ghost. This is a flesh and blood man who looks exactly like the most notorious prisoner in the world, days after he was buried. For years we were told the body swap theory was the internet nonsense, but today we have a name that changed everything. Roberto Grijalva, a man whose name appears on a leaked prison document with no limit clearance. A man who might be the key to the greatest escape act in history. Let's start with forensics. The internet is melting down over this footage because the biometrics are terrifyingly close. We aren't just looking at a generic old man, we are looking at specific features. Look at the ear. The ridge of the helix, the way to the lobe attaches on to the jaw. In the forensic world, ears are like fingerprints. They don't change. The ear on the man in the golf cart is near perfect match to Jeffrey Epstein's ear from 2013 mugshot. And look at the context. This was on August 31st. The FBI had raided the island weeks earlier, so why are the staff members driving a VIP around in a golf cart? If the island was seized, if the assets were frozen, who's authorized to be chauffeured around the property like a king? There's only one person who commanded that kind of deference on that island, and if that is him, then who is in the casket? This is where the story shifts from conspiracy to a criminal case. We have uncovered a document from the leaked files, file reference EFTA 01660679. It is a signatory card for a man named Roberto Grijalva. It says, who's Roberto Grijalva? According to the investigate work done by Autism Capital and others, Grijalva was a guard at the MCC prison during the exact window of Epstein's death. But he wasn't just a guard. New leaks linked him to a bank account that received massive, unexplained wire transfers. And even crazier, the IP address of the original whistleblower post on 4chan, the one that announced Epstein's death before the news did, traces back to his vicinity. Let's read that 4chan post again. It was posted at 8:16 a.m., 40 minutes before the news broke. It says, Trip Wen did not sign in, and we did not record the plate number, and the guy in a green dress, military outfit, was in the back of the van, according to the tower guy who let him through the gate. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. I think they switched him out. We all thought this was a LARP, but now we have the name of the guard, we have the no limit financial document, and we have a drone video of the dead man on his island 3 weeks later. Does that sound like a suicide to you? Or does it sound like no limit extraction operation paid by the most powerful people on Earth? We have also obtained a United States government memorandum that connects every single dot we have discussed so far. This document is the glue. It ties the drone video, the 4chan leaks, and the no limit bank account together into one undeniable picture. First, look at the date. August 12, 2019. This memo was written 2 days after Jeffrey Epstein was pronounced dead. It is an after action report, a cover your tracks document, and look at who wrote it. This is Roberto Grijalva, the same guard whose signature was on the no limit financial card, the same guard linked to the 4chan posts. Now let's read the text because this is where the body swap theory stops being a theory and starts looking like a documentary operation. Grijalva writes to the warden on Friday, August 9, 2019, at approximately 1:50 p.m. I passed on oncoming staff that inmate Reyes was going WAB and possibly main. Who is inmate Reyes? That is Efrain Stone Reyes. He was Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate, the only other person in the room who could see what was happening. We know from news reports that Reyes was transferred out that cell less than 24 hours before Epstein died. But look at the language Grijalva uses. Going WAB. And terrifying phrase, possibly may not return. In the bureau of prisons, you don't just not return unless you're dead or you're being permanently extracted. Grijalva is confirming in writing that he was the only one authorized the removal of the only witness. He cleared the board, he made sure Epstein was alone, and then the smoking gun, also that inmate Epstein will be needing a cellmate upon arrival from his attorney visit. He knew on Friday afternoon, hours before the suicide thing. Roberto Grijalva knew that Epstein would be returning to an empty cell. He documented it. He told oncoming staff, but did they give him a new cellmate? No. Did they fix the cameras? No. Did they check on him every 30 minutes? No. Instead, the cell was left empty, the witness Reyes was gone WAB, and that emptiness is exactly what was needed to back a van up to a loading dock, the trip van mentioned in the 4chan leaks, and swap the asset out. And if you need one more piece of proof that the elites are panicking, look at Donald Trump. We showed you this clip yesterday, but listen to it with new ears. He's on his plane, sweaty, angry, rambling out about Michael Wolff, and then he says this.
And maybe the Epstein estate, I guess.
Maybe the Epstein estate. Why would you sue the estate for conspiring against you in 2026? Estates are legal entities. They pay debts. They don't conspire unless Trump knows the estate isn't just a pile of paperwork. Unless he knows the man behind the estate is still pulling strings. Even the pundits are noticing. Brian Krenstein called it delusional, but it's not delusional if it's true. Trump is threatening to sue because he's being blackmailed. He knows the tapes exist, he knows the Calendar Girls file exists, and he knows that you can't kill a dead man. If Epstein was smoked out, he's the ultimate weapon. He has dirt on everyone. Trump, Clinton, Prince Andrew, Musk, and he's sitting somewhere safe, watching the world burn while his estate leaks the files that keep him alive. We are looking at the greatest crime of the century. Not the trafficking, that was the first crime. The second crime was the cover up. They told us he died, they told us justice was served, but the cameras were broken. The guards were paid off, the one didn't sign in, and 3 weeks later, a drone caught a white-haired man touring the crime scene. Roberto Grijalva. Remember that name. Because if the Department of Justice doesn't arrest him, they're admitting they were part of the extraction. And please tell me what are your opinions on this, and please subscribe and like the video. Thank you.